stand and salute the flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please keep standing for a moment of silence for our 9/11 victims. Okay, I'd like to call the meeting of September 11th, 2025 to order. This meeting has been properly advertised and posted in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act of the state of New Jersey. Adequate notice of the meeting was posted in the Egg Harbor City, on the Egg Harbor City Bulletin Board, on the Egg Harbor City website, and the notice was sent to the Hamilton Gazette and the press. Next on our agenda is roll call, please.
Mayor DePetti. Here. Clark. Here. Dash.
Here.
Dovey.
Here.
Galloway.
I'm here.
Heist. Here. Hesse.
Here.
Keener.
Here.
Timbers.
Here.
Right.
Okay, number 4, approved minutes for August 14th, 2025.
So moved. Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Number 5 is public comments for agenda items only. Is there anyone wish to be heard on agenda items? Seeing none, we'll go to number 6, the mayor's comments.
Okay, so before I start my report, I just would like to read a little bit of the speech that I had written. I changed it around a little, but so as you know, we have right in front of our building here, we're fortunate enough to have, for maybe some of you don't know, we have a piece of the World Trade Center. And we should all be really proud to have such an important piece of American history right outside our doors. Those of you who remember Tom Messina, that was his goal, to get a piece of the tower, and he worked very hard along with the American Legion and the VFW to get that monument. So as we walk by, we remember, at least I do, the events of September 7th or September 11th, 2001, and how it changed our lives and our country. As we look back now 25 years, we remember the horrors we watched on TV, the planes crashing and exploding, the Pentagon burning, people jumping to their death, and the massive Twin Towers crashing down, and countless people covered in gray ash fleeing for their lives. We remember the anger we felt when we saw our enemies celebrating and cheering as the towers came down. The hope we embraced when the American flag emerged from the rubble, and the unity we witnessed as our leaders held hands and sang, "God bless America." Today and in years to come, the message of September 11th will always be remembered and never forget. The lesson will always be, we have enemies that hate us and want to destroy us. The moral will always be, justice will prevail. As you pass by our memorial, remember those events that took place. Commit yourself to defend the ideals and values that unite us as Americans. As President Ronald Reagan warned, freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. The enemies of freedom, those who are potential adversaries, they will be reminded that peace is the highest aspiration of the American people. We will negotiate for it, sacrifice for it. We will not surrender for it now or ever, because we are Americans.
Well done, Matt.
All right, so we had the opportunity, Ryan and I, to meet with John Coolin, with a potential buyer. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the name or not, but he owns Blueberry. I'll just say he owns Blueberries in Hamilton. And he's very interested in the site, so hopefully he'll be able to sell that property and we'll have another growery. It is cultivation. They were thinking at one time to do, edibles, or what do they call that?
Processing.
Processing, yeah. But they have decided to do, the growery, what was the original plan. Also, I have a nice letter that was sent to me from a resident, sent to the police department and then sent to me. I won't, say the name or the address, but it says, "To whom it may concern." Oh, gosh, my computer cut out half of it. Do you have it on, your,
You grab it.
no, don't, hold on. Hold on. I think I can get on my cell phone. Hold on. No, you know what? Go grab it and I'll go through the report, so I don't want to hold everybody up. All right, so we'll come back to that. So the lake report, that should give me enough time. This is the final report for the lake. Total number of badges and wristbands for the year were 10,315 at the amount of $121,270. Picnic tables of all prices, 588, with a total of $33,870. Boat rides, 263, with a total of $2,680. And the sales wound up at $157,820, which was $37,530 off from last year, mainly due to a very poor opening. When we were just open on the weekends, it was very cold and windy. Nobody came out. We had several days that we closed, more than several, for rain, so we're not doing too badly because I didn't spend all the money in the budget, so Jody will be happy about that. So it should offset it somewhat. We did get the campground payment 1, 2, and 3, and I think there's a 4 coming, which I don't understand how, but I think it is. Okay, so that total was $19,030, and total revenue for all operations is $176,851. So all in all, we did very well. Okay, so since the Chief just gave me the letter, I'm going to read that real quick. So it says, "To whom it may concern, we don't begrudge our fine neighbors to have fun parties, yet we are very grateful so many police officers showed up before 10 p.m. to peacefully disband the party. A million thanks, as the number of people, alcohol, and late hour could have been a potential problem for the neighborhood. Thank you very much. Sincerely, a resident." So kudos to the police department. And that's just one small sample of what they do, but they're on it. You don't have to worry. Okay, so there have been a lot of dogs roaming the neighborhood. So we have decided that we're going to put together a dog plan. The chief, Jerry, and myself will work on that. What we plan to do is educate residents through a campaign regarding safe, secure dog ownership and walking dogs in public, and just refreshing them on the current ordinance pertaining to dog ownership. And effective safety deterrence will be included, which would be if a dog approaches you, what you can do to get the dog to back off. So we'll go over all that. We're going to communicate that information to the residents and specifically to dog owners. And hopefully, we're going to look at the current registrations and make sure that the registered dogs, and make sure that their properties are properly secured for the dog, because that's how it seems these incidents happen. The dogs either get under the fence or around the fence, or the fence is open or whatever. So hopefully we'll get to that point where we have enough help in the code enforcement office to do that. We would like to also initiate a dog ownership survey and register any dogs that are not currently registered. Many people don't realize that they do have to register their dogs. And Jackie, I know you told me how many registrations we have.
I think we're like 54.
Okay, 54, and I could tell you that there's many more dogs in Egg Harbor than 54. And why is that important? Because just today we had a dog at the community school. And it didn't have a license. If it has a license, we can identify the owner. It wasn't a vicious dog. He just was just hanging out, you know, sitting peacefully at the community school. And we don't know who he belongs to. Did you find out? So, and he's a sweet dog, a sweet little dog. And he was just sitting there like a poor puppy, poor lost puppy. So we really have to do this. So, and then the administrator, he'll look at our ordinance and along with Chris and recommend any changes that we need to keep people safe.
I have a draft already.
Okay, good. We have an Eagle Scout project that has been completed. I don't know if those of you anybody remembers, we had a Eagle Scout who wanted to preserve the Clark's Landing. Ryan, wait till you see the bridge.
Yeah.
Did you see the pictures?
I haven't seen.
Jody has them.
There's
She's
like
gonna
this
pull them
side,
up.
if you remember, sure.
So I'm gonna pull the pictures up and you can see what was done. And if any, I'm sure there's people here that know what it looked like. Ryan and I personally witnessed it, nearly lost our lives and got soaking wet trying to cross the bridge that was there. So that's the new bridge. I don't have a before or after, but that is a big improvement as to what was there. So, Dick, you're here. Do you want to talk about the grave that's there? Do you want to mention anything about it? It's Clark's Landing. It's the Clark's grave. We'll get to, want to pull up the grave site, Jody? Okay, you can. Do you want to tell him, Chief? You want to ask him?
You want to talk about the grave at the club site?
I don't know anything about
Wow, I'm shocked. Okay, so if memory serves me, Nanette, do you know anything about it?
No.
Okay, so inside that box there, or oh, it's not showing up on,
It's not, hold on, I get it.
oh no.
Try this again.
Okay, so in the middle of that box is a old grave site. I think from the 1700s, right? 1600s of the Clark family.
No,
Yeah. So
no, sorry.
we can't reveal exactly what it is, but it's somewhere over there in the woods at Clark's Landing. And it was damaged at one point in time by, what was it, Ryan? A storm or something? Do you remember?
They said somebody took it at some point.
Oh, yeah, it was
Broke it in
vandal.
half.
Yeah,
So
they broke it in
At
half.
some point, 50 years ago, they sort of cast it in a concrete pour around it just to keep it all together and intact in one place.
Okay, so hopefully this will help keep it safe. And I think a grave from the 1600s is just simply amazing and deserves to be safe. And the last thing, just to know how important Boy Scouts are, we did have we have another potential Eagle Scout candidate, our clerk Angela Fogan. Her son is a candidate for Eagle Scout and he's working on his badge, and he just did a nice cleanup at the lake. So Jerry, your guys will be happy about that.
Yeah,
So pulled a lot of trash.
rarely do they get happy, yeah.
And that's, I'm sorry if I was long.
Thank
That's
you.
all right, thank you. Next we have Nanette for
You can't stop.
sustainable for cemetery and for property.
Okay, well, we did have a cemetery meeting, but I'll let the girls talk about that. They're interested. Last night we had Doug Palamy came to Cedar Creek High School and did his presentation on the nature of oaks. It was very well attended. We had about 125 people there. Most of them were from out of town. not as many from Egg Harbor City. And unfortunately, we didn't have any kids there, and they have an environmental magnet at the school, so we gotta work on that. That's all I have for sustainable. We didn't have a Parks and Playgrounds meeting, but I'll discuss this in part of property. We're going to be rededicating the Peace Pilgrim statue on Sunday, September 21st at 1 p.m. 21st is the International Day of Peace. The statue has been cast in bronze. It was, will be picked up tomorrow and be brought to Egg Harbor City on Monday, and we'll have the week to install it. It looks really good, exactly like it did last time. And it's metal and it'll be-
Destructible.
well, yeah, sort of, I guess. It can topple over, I guess. But it'll be, they call it French brown, so it'll be a bronzy color. So it'll look different, terracotta before. And that's all I have for right now.
Okay, thank you. Next we have Councilwoman Hesse with safety, code enforcement.
I have nothing, safety, code enforcement, I'll leave to Jerry. And Rotary, I just wanted to say that, we're collecting, if you haven't noticed out there, the bin in the, lobby here, across from the, clerk's office. We have a bin there to collect gently used coats and hats and gloves until, November 8th. And they will be donated to the, rescue mission, Atlantic City Rescue Mission, as they do every year. And just to mention the Halloween parade, it will be held on October 24th. And that's all I'll say about the Halloween parade. It's listed. It's a little too early yet. And that's pretty much it.
Okay, next we have, thank you. Next we have Council Timbers for license ordinance and hearing.
Nothing to report for license and ordinances. I already have to do nothing to report, at this time. Land use, there was a meeting. However, I'm giving the report on that meeting and next week's meeting at our next meeting.
That's it. Thank you. Councilman Dovey, DPW.
I have nothing to report. I'll defer to Jerry when he does the report on Public Works, manager and, city administrators.
Okay, thank you. Councilwoman Clark for school board.
For school board, there are a couple of events coming up. Tomorrow, Cedar Creek will be having their Fall Fest, from 5 to 8 p.m. There is a $5 entry and it's, different activities for the family. Saturday, the 13th is varsity day for all fall sports, so it will be at the school starting at 9 a.m. September 18th is the Scrag back to school. September 25th is the community day, the community school back to school night. And both of those days are gonna be 12:50 dismissals for the children. And also on the 25th is the back to school night at Cedar Creek starting at 6:30.
Okay, thank you. Councilwoman Heist, do you have anything to add to any of these reports?
Nothing.
Councilman Dash?
No, I have nothing.
Thank you. I just have two things. One is tax collectors monthly report for the month of August. We took in $2,379,573.02. And for the year, we're at $8,470,180.64. And I just want to add that I was away for a little while and we have some meetings coming up that all the things that we've been working on with the redevelopment and the finance committee to move them forward. And I was told today that one of the properties that we've been looking at was sold. And there's a new owner, that's the Shift property on like Gateway West. And we're looking to meet with that person as soon as we can. So we'll see what happens with those. There's a lot of irons in the fire right now, and we're waiting for, the the Weisbecker property being torn down was a step in the right direction, but we want to start building things and not tear them down. Even though there's probably some other buildings to be torn down in town. So, all those things are being looked at. I commend, Jerry gave us a really good report on code this past month and, progress that's been made there. And I commend everybody in the department. Okay, number,
Mr. President, can
sure,
you clarify what the shift property is?
that's where the Better Built door.
Better
Yeah.
doors, thank you.
And that one property, I think, is owned by somebody else where they just remodeled it on the corner near Hamburg Avenue.
Raffy Fix. Raffy Fix.
Yeah.
It used to be. Yeah, and there's a problem back there which the DEP is aware of. There's a big problem.
Contamination. Yeah,
Thank you for that.
okay, thank you. Number 8 is the chief of police report.
Okay, since we last met, August 14th, I'll give you some numbers. We've had 1 burglary call, 3 fraud reports, 1 simple assault, 1 motor vehicle, stolen motor vehicle, 11 thefts, 15 motor vehicle accidents, 11 pedestrian stops, 53 traffic stops. 34 summonses issued, 18 arrests, 6 business alarms, 1 residential alarm, 171 crime prevention activity, 7 domestics, 53 EMS incidents, 3 firearms ID applications, 4 follow-ups, 422 property checks, 15 public service calls. Some things that we've been involved in with back to school events, both Stratton and Community School had their summer back to school events. So we were there at those on August 20th. We had a community walk that was put together by the Coalition for a Safe Community. The Attorney General flew to Egg Harbor City and it was here. So he got to see a bit of our town. We had a book bag giveaway. One of our former residents, Caleb Graves, has a foundation where he collects book bags, and we gave away quite a few book bags at QF on August 27th. It was a wonderful evening, lots of fun. So we will do that. Upcoming things that we will be involved in, as Councilwoman Clark mentioned, tomorrow is Fall Fest for the 4th year in a row. The Egg Harbor City Police Department and the Hamilton Township Police Department will be doing a hayride out there. It has been quite a popular event, so we're out there and we have a good time. Jody made fun of me because I ordered from Amazon some popsicle sticks and some glittery markers. That's how we keep the kids honest, because they line up and people like to cut in the line, but if you don't have the popsicle stick, you don't get to get on the wagon.
Like, there must be a reason she needs this.
Thank you for community policing. So we've got that going on tomorrow. So a big thank you to retired Chief Sam Brome from Hamilton Township, who secures us the wagon to attach to one of our trucks each year. And it's wonderful that he still likes to be involved with it, even though he has retired. So we have that. Next week, September 17th, on Wednesday, we will be resuming our community cares event at Lincoln Park. That's the event where we do food giveaways. That are prepared by, warm food prepared by the Piccalilli. New Jersey State Police are out there, the Operation Rise giving away Narcan. New Jersey courts are out there helping with expungement information, so anybody who has any questions about expungement, they do on-site expungements, they can help you with on-site expungements, they will be able to direct you to the court where you can. You get information as to what you need to do. We are out there as well with food and clothing. So that is there on at Lincoln Park, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. next Wednesday, September 17th. Some things that we had going on. The Traffic Cares Initiative, that was the county task force, continued on through August. We had 2 other initiatives, one the day that we were here on our last council meeting, then another one I believe on August 26th or 29th, I forget the exact date. It turned out to be a very, very successful initiative, so much so that we the county chiefs of police were addressing and potentially looking to expand that county task force to address the issue of e-bikes and micro mobility issues. So I know that there was an email thread going through some council members regarding ordinances. Please know that we as county chiefs are addressing it on a county level to keep any potential ordinances sort of similar while addressing the different needs of each municipality, so that if there are municipalities with bike paths or different areas, that at least some of the language will remain similar, so that if you are traveling from area to area, there aren't rules that are changing from jurisdiction to jurisdiction. So as soon as we have some of that, we actually just had a mock or a draft version of a resolution that the chiefs have come up with that we are reviewing. We just sent that out today for everybody to review amongst the chiefs. So we will hopefully be sending that out to our respective jurisdiction soon to take a look at to hopefully start implementing. But I did want to share that with you so that we are addressing that issue. But we do have different concerns in different areas. We're not Brigantine, we're not Linwood, where it's primarily kids who are riding the e-bikes. We have a different demographic that are riding the e-bikes, so we may have to attack it a little bit differently. But taking that all into consideration. So that's what we've got. I did want to also let you know, this is going to be very vague, and I'm sorry, but I can't tell you more, but I do want to let you know. During the summer of 2025, the State Police Crime Suppression South Unit with the Egg Harbor City Police and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco and Firearms, the ATF, conducted an investigation into the possession of weapons and the illegal distribution of weapons. Throughout the investigation, it was learned that 2 residents of Egg Harbor City were involved. As a result of the investigation, court-ordered search warrants were authorized at 2 residences in Egg Harbor City. The court-ordered search warrants were executed on August 20th. All individuals involved in this investigation were charged accordingly and pending court proceedings. I can't give you more information. That's all I can give you. When I can't give you more, I will. But I wanted to let you know that, you know, we're doing things. So that's what we've got. Any questions, concerns?
Do you want to talk about the memorial that we unveiled? I forgot.
We did have an opportunity this evening to unveil the first responder memorial. It is quite beautiful. A lot of people put a lot of hard work into it. The NPP, the stakeholders there, council, the EDC, Karen Adams put a lot of work into it. The Lindbergh Foundation was integral in getting the funding for that. It is on the White Horse Pike. Along the White Horse Pike, it has all of the first responder badges etched into it, the ambulance squad, the fire department, the police department, and then the city seal above a beautiful etching of the corner of Philadelphia Avenue and the White Horse Pike with the old firehouse and some very old vehicles. So probably a picture over 100 years old. And it's a beautiful tribute, a beautiful piece of stone with beautiful etching, and it's, you know, rightfully deserved. While we were out there, we did have an opportunity to say a few words. First responders are, you know, they're important, but again, one of the things that I stress is that we can't do it without all the family members and the support of the community. So again, I'd like to reiterate thank you to my family for putting up with me. And you know, for everybody else, the families who, you know, share us with them, you know, missing holidays and special events and things of the sort. So it's beautiful. Thank you to anybody who had the idea to put that out there to honor us. It's greatly appreciated. So,
Thanks, Chief.
but yeah, that's what we got. Anything else?
Anybody else? No, thank you, Chief. Okay, number 9 on our agenda, is CFO. No report. Number 10, City Clerk.
As Councilwoman Galloway mentioned, we did have a cemetery meeting, just went over the usual business of the cemetery, nothing, we have some plans possibly to build some first niche walls, open another section. all in the works. So Ryan prepared a plan for us. We were looking to do more like a master plan to not just move around nilly-willy, if that's it. Come up with a plan, and that's what we're working.
Thank you. Number 11, city administrator.
Thank you. September 29th is the first day of the new trash and toter distribution. The company that contracted with ACUA will be distributing the toters directly to the properties. In addition to that, when there are issues, you'll be able to contact me at 609-965-0081 and pick option 2 or extension 115. And I or Ray or Johnny or Tyler or anyone at DPW will handle any issues. We are currently developing a fenced-in area that will be secured because we do keep our yard open for brush drop-off and things of that nature. But we want to make sure that it's not one of those help yourself type of situations for our extra cans. And our electronics has been significant this year. Even though we've picked up once or twice, most of the people who dump the electronics will bring the electronics. We've had to empty the container 3 times this year so far.
Wow.
So there's a lot of electronics being recycled, which is really great. Other than that, it's all status quo at DPW. Things are going really well. We are in contract to sell Rick's Power Plus. It got into a bidding war and amazing that happened. And it was, we got, I think 15 or 17% over asking price. So worked out really well. October and November will be tree planting months. We hopefully will award a contract this evening for 200 trees. We planted throughout the city and the city right-of-ways. Nanette has provided me quite a few locations, and I'm still working on a few more. I will meet with the contractor. If approved this evening, I'll meet with the contractor in 2 weeks to get that going. The trees are not dug out of the ground yet. They need to start to shut down before they get dug in the nursery. So this will be mostly October and November. We've removed 140 dead trees throughout the city with our grant. And now we're turning over to pruning, elevation pruning, so that we can address some of the issues that our fire trucks have throughout the city. So he'll be going up and down each street, doing elevation pruning and deadwood hazardous pruning. So that's really important for the fire trucks. We've had a couple of firefighters talk to me and others about it. Regarding the code department, our code compliance actions have increased 67% this year. The amount of red cards that have been issued has doubled from the same period ending in August of 2025. Code-related investigations has increased 40%. Zoning issues that have been reviewed are up 50% from last summer to this summer. And Ms. Donna, the office manager and land use secretary, has collected more than $30,000 in the first half of this year compared to last year. So they're really booming over there, and they should be commended for all the hard work. That's really it. Last thing is a day like today, I think about my brother Frankie. My brother Frank was a New York City police officer, lieutenant, assigned to the emergency services unit. On 9/11, he responded to the towers and survived, but was crushed in his truck. He lives with his wife and kids and his in-laws. I don't know why the in-laws are there. And the in-laws in Wilmington, North Carolina right now. And he does well, but a day like today makes me think I could have lost my brother, but it didn't. So it's pretty great. That's it.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Jerry.
Jerry, can I ask you, the flyers, when are they supposed to go
They
out?
went out.
They did go out.
Yeah, so they
Okay.
went out. So they're
Everybody should be getting
standard
them soon.
mail. Kim, I didn't go first class. I went standard, try to save a little money.
Yeah.
Right, so,
Yeah.
right, so, and then I did email, we had 220 on my BBC list for landlords. So that went out, so landlords are calling already. trying to get whatever they can out of me.
I did see, somebody contacted us about if they don't want them, what do they do?
No problem. I'm sure they have a message for me.
Okay.
I'll make sure they don't get them. Yeah. That's no problem. Yeah.
Jerry, I have a question. Out by us, I guess it was the county, they came out and pruned the trees along the roadway.
Yeah.
It looked like Edward Scissorhands on a really, really bad day.
Yeah.
It was.
His name is Dennis.
I don't know what his name was, but he was really angry. It's horrible. It's absolutely, if you look at those trees going down the side of the road. It was horrible, the way he just went down that road, like they weren't even straight. Some of them were real far in, some of them were, it was just,
Yeah, unfortunately, that's been their process for a long time.
I've never seen it done. Have
Like
you
that?
ever seen it done like that? It was
Yeah.
like I went down and he came home from work and said, what happened to the trees? And I'm like, it was just, I don't know if it's a different guy that did it, but he went down like I don't know if, somebody spit his Cheerios that morning, whatever it was, but he was an angry man that day and those trees look like they're never gonna come back the way he went down there.
So
Were
typically
in
they
the
do,
telephone
but.
wires? Or
I don't-
the
they-
electrical?
no. No,
No
he
utilities?
just went.
He used the brush hog on the arm. and it's
Yeah.
Just,
He just ripped through them like he was just mad at the world. It was just.
there's no
horrible
finesse in
looking.
it. There's no finesse.
No, he just went down, there was no rhyme or reason for why he did it the way he did it, and it just made it look so unattractive and it made it ugly,
Yeah,
basically.
I don't get down there all the time. It's kind of like the lady.
Nobody gets down there all the
Right.
time.
So I'll look at it.
Me and you,
Yeah, it's going that way. I'll take a look at it, see if there's any touch up that they need to do, kind of maybe make it a little bit more.
Yeah,
I'll take a look at
it was bad. Did you see it, Meg? Did you notice it?
Yeah, as the former assistant director of public works at the county, used to get those complaints all the time.
Yeah, it was bad, like, and we've lived out there for 30 years
Long
and
time.
I've never
I
seen
just
it.
thought possibly not the right equipment,
I just thought he was really angry and I was glad I wasn't standing there when he went by. That's how bad it was.
Yeah, I'll tell you a story offline.
Anything else for Jerry? Good, thank
Thanks.
you. Number 12, the city attorney report.
I don't have anything to report.
Thank you. Okay, number 13 is motion to approve use of city property for the Archway Green for movie night in September.
Engineer's report, I skipped them.
Are you?
I think it was.
Forgot you were coming back. Sorry, I didn't know this.
Never forget, Ron. I'm sorry, go ahead.
All right, yeah, right, tried to skip, I mean, I handed it down, you can read it. No, so number one on both sides of the page, are both done, it's the Archway Green and Weisbecker demo. Archway Green, there's still some punch list stuff, but I think overall, it became great.
Yeah.
And then Weisbecker, they just flew through, got it down and made the site look, as presentable as you can for a property you can't really do much with at the moment. So they submitted their payment application for less than what the bid was, so it looks like we'll save a little money and it's done.
Can we just comment, we've had people fall if we own Weisbeckers?
We do not.
Can you
Yeah,
make?
so the Weisbecker property is still privately owned. From what I recall from discussion with the tax clerk, it went to tax sale numerous times. A few people bought it not realizing there was an environmental case and then just, didn't pay the taxes. So it's still privately owned. Again, we've gotten guidance from DEP to just let them clean it up. They'll continue to clean it up at their own expense, placing liens on the property. And then when they're done, we can foreclose on it and dispatch the liens and take the property with clean title essentially. So I know it's frustrating, but if we don't wait for them to go through their process, we're gonna be on the hook for the rest of the cleanup. They're probably not be able to do much with it anyway and have to pay for it. So we just wait, we get it free and clear for free.
Right, is there any way they can maybe put like a little fence or something to make? it
Jerry's
more attractive in the
working
front?
on that.
Yeah.
Oh, are you? Okay. right.
It'll be similar to what they did at NPP did at the Archway Green. It
Perfect.
won't have the columns, of course, but it'll have that black wrought iron.
Great.
look. Yeah.
And we won't be on the hook if we just do that, because that's on our property. right?
Yeah, you can do it at the back edge of the sidewalk and just pull to the sidewalk.
Yeah.
and,
And then it's however, whatever the progress is there, when they start excavating and cleaning it up, we'll just remove that and maybe use it someplace else. It's all bolted together, so it's easy to put up and take down.
Okay, thank you.
Can I ask about the back of the property? Because people are parking there,
Back which property?
the Weisbecker property.
I mean, it's a privately owned property.
Well, we're not gonna put a fence in the back, keep
Mhm.
people off of it.
No, I wasn't going to discourage or encourage people to park there.
Okay.
Yeah, and originally we had intended to pave the back of the Archway Green property, but we had lots of complication of finance that just sort of made that impossible. So I believe Jerry had a plan to sort of address that area too.
Yeah.
But that's why we didn't do anything as part of the project.
And I had one other thing. Someone had brought it to my attention as far as putting like that stuff to Jared ballards or something to make sure that nobody will come through Archway Green.
Mhm.
So that's
Our
something,
magnolia trees help a little bit with that, but there'll have to be something, which will be decorative type of things.
especially with everything that's going on.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
around.
We'll add something to it.
Thank you.
All right, so next on the front page of the list is Buffalo Avenue. We got approved from DOT. It's out to bid right now. We'll be bid opening on the 23rd to award at the meeting on the 25th. We'd like to get that work done this fall if possible. Campground ADA improvements, we're scheduled to talk to the Pinelands Commission at our meeting up there on the 17th, so we'll know more coming out of that. The City Hall 88 improvements, we need DCA approval to bid. We're trying to advertise that as soon as possible. So we can get that award and get the money spent in October, at least a portion. Atlantic Avenue pedestrian, we're still just working through permit process and access agreements. Pineland or the New Orleans Avenue subdivision, another one we gotta talk to Pinelands about. We should have had approval months ago, still don't. The IBank Stormwater project, you guys adopted the bond, so I believe we need to reach out to DP. At this point, because we submitted for environmental review in time for funding last year, and they just didn't have the bandwidth to deal with it. So we have to circle back with them and get that process restarted so we can get moving back towards constructing the project.
So if you need help, just because I did it for the other town down the street. So,
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
Well, that's good. And then we got the technical assistance coming too.
yeah, we can talk about that.
And then construction of East Drake Street, the section between Brandon and Baltimore. We have plans into DOT. We already responded to one round of comments. They kind of changed the way they do their reviews lately, so we've been seeing like 2, 3, 4 rounds of comments sometimes. So we're hoping it doesn't go that far, but we already responded to the first round. So we'll be big that as soon as we can. Backside is really just keeping you apprised on things that aren't really projects necessarily or things that we're doing, but that are going on and we're involved in. Keurig Fields, we got a meeting with the Pinelands to talk about all the outstanding violations that they're considering there and how it can move forward. Pickleball courts are done. That'll probably drop off the list next time. The brownfield sites, we are preparing the HTSRF applications so that we can do the investigative work there. And I believe that we're working on moving forward with the developer on one of them. Master plan, we need to sort of develop some recommendations and circle back to try to move that forward.
I'll get that to you.
Okay. The redevelopment study for the north subdivision area. Again, there was a redevelopment plan, but it was based on the city laws designation as an area of development, or I'm sorry, area need of rehabilitation. We needed to do that area need of redevelopment study so that we could consider the plan that way instead of as area need of rehabilitation. So that has pretty much worked its way through both here and the planning board. Same thing, Antwerp Avenue landfill, we did the portion at the planning board at the last meeting. So we should be able to have the development plan ready for that to engage with the developer.
You know what I mean? I need to clarify. That's the issue, separate from the.
Okay.
I need to know the better.
All right, we do
Next
it.
meeting, okay?
And then the last thing was just, I'm gonna leave on here for probably some time, is Philadelphia Avenue, the summary of the county's schedule to replace the bridge or reconstruct Philadelphia Avenue and like that. So not involved with that directly, but
So I have a question, Ryan, on the master plan reexamination. I did send you a copy of the strategic plan.
yeah.
I did not get a copy of the master plan that you did to review, but did you add that?
Yeah, so there, we had talked about like that, the butterfly ordinance, a couple other things.
Right.
A couple of things are all gonna be, hopefully, like, in it.
Right.
But I'll resend, we had distributed a draft a little while ago. I think-
Yeah, I think I might have commented on that, but I didn't see the final copy.
Is the energy plan in here?
Energy plan is by reference.
And, Well, we need to address the trees in the master plan.
Okay, do you have a separate report that we have incorporated?
We have to talk about it because, we're gonna need an ordinance
Okay.
eventually.
But we do have the plan to see. MP,
Yeah,
we have the
that's almost finished.
community CFMP.
We
that's almost
forestry management.
I
plan.
reviewed my side, so we're.
I had some changes and I want to put some things in there, so we need to talk about that.
So we have a community forestry management plan that just finished for us.
Yes.
We've reviewed it.
And it's very good.
A couple
They
times.
did
Yeah,
a
it's
really
very
good
good.
job.
Cool. So we can add that element right there.
Yeah, I mean, we'd speak to it in a paragraph or so and then just incorporate it by reference.
Okay, cool.
So what's the timeline, anticipated timeline for that?
For the master plan, I mean, there's a little bit of back and forth that needs to happen, but, I mean,
By the end of the year?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't see any reason we could wrap it up by the end of the year or early at the beginning of next year.
And I have another thing, Ryan, on the city hall ADA improvements. We talked about this before, that we actually have to spend the money somewhat or get into it
Correct.
in order to apply for the next small cities grant. Are you
Yeah,
gonna be on
we're still
target for
trying-
that?
We're still trying to award, at the next meeting on the 25th, but, we have to wait, we gotta get DCA's review of plans and specs and certain funding agency. So I'll be talking to try to get.
Are you talking to Stefania tomorrow?
So there's two different people. She's on the, like, getting the grant side, and then there's people on the execution side. So it's not Stefania, but it's people that she works with that have worked on that side.
Okay, so you think it's gonna happen, that we're actually gonna start spending money?
Yeah, we should definitely be able to start spending.
Okay, because recall, we agreed that the next small cities grant was gonna go to do improvements at the library. So we can't do that if we have 3 grants still
It doesn't
open.
make sense to apply. until
Yeah,
it's spent.
yeah.
Hey, a library or seniors?
Oh, no, we got the
Yeah,
senior
we got
center.
the
The senior center's open, this is open, and the lake's open. So it's nearly impossible to get another grant
Yeah.
if you haven't spent any money, and we haven't spent any money.
Yeah, I think the oldest one's one of the later.
Yeah. And then on the, I know you mentioned it on your report, but the New Orleans Avenue subdivision, you still haven't gotten anything on that.
No, it's on the
I
list.
know, it's on your list,
Chuck.
but
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it in February or March. They said it would be, it's the 2 meeting cycle, but they said essentially it was up for approval at that meeting and then it should get final. I just haven't been since.
okay.
There's 5 or 6 issues on Wednesday that we have to discuss. I think so.
I don't have anything else. Thank you.
Ryan, I just wanted to ask you about Wawa. And we did release the monies, right, to them because they were supposed to have everything done. I can't recall exactly what you called that.
Yeah, I went through this, a
Trees
little
and
bit of
all.
history with Jerry. We actually held the performance bond until January of this year. And they had to post a 2-year maintenance guarantee from that date, January 25th, something like that.
Okay.
So we still have a guarantee on the site. I mentioned the trees to them at that point in January, that wasn't really supposed to be the time to plan, so, but they definitely, they could do it. But we still have them on the hook for another year and 3-4 months. So it's not, the bond didn't expire, we still have,
Yeah.
we still have leverage to get them replaced.
We have leverage. There's
So-
money there.
Yep.
And
So
it came
does
up-
someone talk to them about it
No,
or do
so-
they just do it?
Not yet. It came up with me because I was locating trees,
Okay.
tree planting spots,
Mhm.
and I know that. So I can't put the trees along Philadelphia Avenue if they're gonna put the trees where on their property.
Right.
So I need to, that's why I got into it with them.
You can't put the trees on Philadelphia Avenue.
No, because their trees are gonna conflict with our trees. So I need them to put their trees in. I'm not gonna put trees.
That right away is huge. That planting strip is like 20 feet wide.
But their trees.
It's nowhere
look like
near
to me
their
it's close to
property.
the sidewalk.
Yeah, they're clean, their trees are just on the backside of the sidewalk, so their canopy would extend out to about.
They're just on the
Some
backside.
in their, on their property above the berm.
I thought they had some just off the sidewalk. I'll have to look back and see.
Yeah, that's what I remember seeing too. So it's fine. I mean, we have extra spots, so we can put them in,
Well,
but
that's one of the hot spots that was identified in the heat island assessment.
yeah, but my point was, I'd rather have them put their trees in, the replacement trees that died, instead of us spending. Grant money on our,
Where they owe us trees.
where they owe us trees, right? So. We'll
Thank
figure it out.
Thank you.
Sure.
Anything else for Ryan? Okay, thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
Now we'll do 13. Motion to approve use of city property, Archway Green Movie night in the park, September, October, November, December, 7 to 9, and then first responder park. For the dedication on October 28th at 5 P.M.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, number 14 is the resolution awarding the contract for tree planting services, street trees.
Motion.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Questions on the motion? All in favor? Roll call. I'm sorry.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Dovey,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Keener,
Yes.
Timbers.
Yes.
Motion passes. Number 15, resolution for county rock salt award. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Roll call.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash.
Yes.
Dovey,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Keener,
Yes.
Timbers.
Yes.
Motion passes. Number 16, resolution 100% totally disabled veteran tax exemption. Case number 2025-1, effective August 1st, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Roll call, please.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash.
Yes.
Dovey,
Yes.
Galloway.
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Keener,
Yes.
Timbers.
Yes.
Resolution passes. Number 17, authorizing shared service agreement with Atlantic County Utility Authority. Is there a motion?
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Questions on the motion? Roll call.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash.
Yes.
Dovey,
Yes.
Galloway.
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse.
Yeah.
Keener,
Yes.
Timbers.
Yes.
Resolution passes. Number 18, resolution to knock out opioid abuse debt.
Motion.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution passes. Okay, number 19 is a public hearing on ordinance number 13-25, amending chapter 120, the Code of Egg Harbor City concerning construction codes, uniform to update general construction code fees and building subcode fees in accordance with the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs codes and standards. Is there a motion?
Make a motion.
Second.
Questions on the motion? Roll call.
The public hearing. You opened the public hearing.
Motion to open the public hearing.
They did. Anybody from public?
Anybody, first call, anybody from the public wish to be heard? No. Second call,
Motion to close it.
motion been closed, second,
Second.
motion made and second, okay, roll,
Motion to adopt.
sorry, motion to adopt, that's right, you're right.
Make a motion.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made, second. Roll call.
You got it.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash.
Yes.
Dovey,
Yes.
Galloway.
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Keener,
Yes.
Timbers.
Yes.
We got a lot on here for practice, so.
Steve, we have.
Okay, so this number 13 passes, and will be advertised notion of it, notice of adoption in the Hamilton Gazette on September 7th. Okay, number 20, public hearing. Our ordinance number 14-2025, amending chapter 213 of the code of the city of Egg Harbor concerning vacant and abandoned properties. Is there a motion to hold a public hearing?
Make a motion.
Motion. Second.
Motion been made and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, public hearing is open. First call. Second call. Seeing none, is there a motion to adopt?
Motion.
Close.
Motion to close.
Close the public hearing.
Make a motion.
I did.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion to adopt.
You're ready.
Make a motion.
Second. Okay, motion, roll call.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash.
Yes.
Dovey,
Yes.
Galloway.
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse.
Yes.
Keener,
Yes,
Timbers.
Yes.
and that will be also noticed in the Hamilton Gazette on September
Yes.
17th. Okay, number 21, public hearing ordinance number 15-2025, amending chapter 262 of the Code of Egg Harbor City concerning junk and abandoned vehicles. Is there a motion to hold a public hearing?
Make the motion.
Second.
Motion made, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so public hearing is open on ordinance number 15. First call. Second call.
I have something.
What's that?
I have something.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so subsection 261(1) in the definitions. It says it does not have a current license plate or registration. How will law enforcement officials determine if a vehicle has plates and registration if the vehicle is parked on private property and said vehicle has a fitted car cover covering the entire vehicle? Is there concern that people's right to privacy will be violated by removing the cover or requiring the owner to remove it? What is the plan if the owner tells the official to leave his property? That's my first question.
So, the plan would be to engage Steve, the owner, to see, if they're willing to uncover it. If they're not willing to uncover it, we may have a different conversation. I haven't had a scenario like that yet, so it would still be a discussion regarding a car with a cover on it that the code enforcement officers, or I believe, are, it's a junk vehicle. The police would only be looking up vehicles on public roadways.
Okay,
We would be, looking up, vehicles with the, program that DMV allows us to look up, which is the, they call it the CARS program, CAIR, it stands for something.
Delmer.
Yeah, they're allowed to. So that's how we would be doing it. And like we had asked last time, 30 days. You should. I have.
It
no-
was amended to 30, did you?
Yeah.
If you had
30
10,
days, he told me that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
30 days, and I wouldn't have a problem with someone if they asked for an additional 30 days.
Well, if you were to come to my property and my car's covered in my driveway. And I tell you, I'm not gonna open up the cover, I'm not gonna even discuss it with you, what's your next step?
I'd probably walk away. I'd probably walk away.
So it's not enforceable, so.
I'm not gonna get into it with you.
Okay.
Everything other than, a covered car with an owner that is not willing to cover it is enforceable.
Okay, I mean, I understand the,
Yeah.
the basic that we want the junk car,
Yeah, yeah.
I totally got it.
Yeah.
But by definition. If it doesn't have plates of registration, it's considered abandoned, according to the definition.
Right.
So I would say that the definition needs to be amended. That's my first question. My second one is,
But how, okay, so. I'm not sure I follow that necessarily, because if we're talking about a car. You know, the intent and the purpose behind behind this ordinance is obviously to get rid of junk cars and people's property on the street, right? If somebody has say, an antique car, for example, or whatever,
Right.
and it's covered on their property, I don't think that wouldn't necessarily be defined as a junk car. I mean, that wouldn't be something that would code enforcement would necessarily look at it and say, hey, this is a public nuisance.
have you read this ordinance?
Yeah,
Amendment?
read it, yeah,
So. The one thing it states does not have a current license plate or registration.
right.
So my question would be, if it has a car cover, how is that enforceable?
But how would you know if it didn't have license plate or registration?
That's my point.
But that's what I'm saying, like, that doesn't necessarily fall, a covered car that's there to protect the car because maybe it's a sports car that you only want to drive on their states, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Doesn't fall into the ordinance.
Okay.
So I'm saying, I don't think that example necessarily fits on the ordinance.
So a car, so what we're saying is a car with a full car cover is pretty much exempt from that part of the ordinance.
I think not only would it not fall under the ordinance, I think also from law enforcement perspective and from a code enforcement perspective, they would have no ability to go in and do anything with them.
That's kind of my point.
Yeah, well, right, and the inverse, I know what you're getting at, the inverse is gonna be that, well, then anybody with a junk vehicle can just go out and buy a tarp for their car.
Right.
Maybe, I doubt it, I mean, but I think generally speaking, we're trying, the ordinance, the way it's written. Is gonna get at, the majority of the problem, now, none of these are perfect.
Okay.
We're not gonna be able to get every single junk car off properties, and some people may flaunt the ordinance by doing that,
Okay.
but.
Okay.
Yes.
My second question is, it says, it's found to be mechanically inoperable and is allowed to remain inoperable for a period of 10 days. Is there a concern that this may cause undue financial hardship on lower income families that need to save up to repair their vehicle? For example, transmission can easily cost anywhere from $2,000 to $8,000. So what happens when a hardworking parent needs to save up money to repair their car that's parked on their property? Is their car, if the car is on their property, why would the city get involved in their financial matters?
But I think that was the portion for 30 days.
Okay, so
Yeah.
if it's been amended to 30 days.
Yeah, then there would be some discretion either at the code enforcement officer or with my office to give them additional time if there is a hardship. I mean.
It doesn't state that anywhere in the ordinance. It
No.
is- That it's subject to Jerry's approval or
Right.
approval.
No, it doesn't. It says 30 days. So
Right.
I'm just letting you know that I would be somewhat flexible with people who demonstrate or not demonstrate, but articulate a hardship.
And that's consistent with how code operates now with all code enforcement, right? I mean, you go out to a property, the initial step is to interact with the property owner, give a warning.
Right.
Before actual enforcement. So that would be part of the interactive process that they already engage in practice now.
Okay,
And I've done that with the 10-day and the 30-day.
so it'll be enforced sometimes, is what you're saying.
No, they'll be enforced most of the time, but you're right. I mean, there will be some times when discretion comes into play.
I mean, it could take someone 6 months to save up enough money to repair their car.
It could.
So I'm wondering why we're putting that kind of a time frame on in the ordinance on their own property. It's not causing a hazard anymore.
Well, it does cause a hazard, right? I mean,
How does it cause a hazard?
I got that. So the whole part of it is, one is, it's like any other code enforcement on somebody's private property. It's like not cutting grass or dilapidated building. If it's a dilapidated car on the property, then the city is enforcing its rights to have that property owner, remove that vehicle. I was in Camden, as the county attorney at the time, when we had 3 children climbing the back of an abandoned vehicle on private property. The trunk came down, slammed, those kids died in the middle of the summer. These are hazards. So this is a way to enforce the hazards. And I think real life examples show that abandoned cars and junk cars can become nuisance and hazards.
I agree with you that abandoned and junk cars can cause that.
Right.
But this state's inoperable. So if you have a car that has a mechanical issue that is being worked on, that doesn't mean it's a junk car.
Correct. But
I
that's
mean,
what-
all of us sitting up here, we have enough money to repair our cars. We can call Highway Motors, have them done, no problem. But there's people that it may take them 2, 3, 4 months to save up to fix something.
And that's when Jerry's office engages the interactive process to make sure that the car gets, that they work with the property owner to see what the intent is for that car.
Okay, but there's nothing in the ordinance that states that it's subject to approval. It says that you're in violation.
But our general operating
We are.
process in code is to provide additional time, even though it says in the code it's definite. It's our normal process.
I could say that would be true with most ordinances that we have. That they go to it's like our snow shoveling sidewalk ordinance, where it says if you don't shovel it within you're gonna get a $2,000 fine,
Go to jail.
6 months in jail.
Right.
And that has never occurred. We've never imposed a fine like that.
Could be snowy limit.
So we have.
If we
this
change that.
given individuals additional time to cut grass or to cut back their shrubs or trees in the sidewalk and things of that nature. Cleaned up their property. We've given them additional time, even though the ordinance, only gives that 10-day period. We do give them additional time. That's
Yeah.
basically the process. And discretion that we have in the code department to work with the individuals, to work with the residents. Because they are residents. At the end of the day, I understand, that it's not going to be cut and dry at every situation, but.
I think what Chris said to start it off with your answer is what it's all about. We're here to try to make the town look more appealing, cleaner.
Safer.
People.
And I agree. I do agree with
They're proud.
100%.
And Councilman, I get your point that it's not written here, but I would equate it almost to law enforcement speeding. The speed limit says it's supposed to be 25 miles an hour. But they do give discretion to the officers to whether or not to write a ticket or pull somebody over. That's the same discretion that's offered to, code enforcement, come in and decide whether or not to pick a person or work with the person. The idea is compliance. The idea is not punitive, it's compliance. So a person, if somebody says, hey, I need, I'm working 2 jobs and I need, to save up a couple $100 to get this car fixed, that's compliance. They're gonna work towards compliance. They're not gonna be punitive. The punitive aspect of the ordinance is designed to clean up the blight, not to punish the individual residents who are working.
And I understand that, and that's why I'm concerned, because I don't wanna see hardworking families get caught up in something. Because there's other vehicles in the city that are hazard. And I think that the changes, I mean, we just passed this ordinance 2 years ago. So I think that the amendments to it, kind of put people possibly in jeopardy. I mean, there's another part of the ordinance that says you can't make a repair of your car on the street unless it can be done within 2 hours. So if you have your car parked in front of your house, like most of us do, and you go out there and the starter's not working. Okay, you go order a starter at Napa and they're like, okay, it'll be here tomorrow. By definition of this ordinance, now you're in violation. Because that repair wasn't done within 2 hours. Now that car's still parked in the same spot it would have been parked if the car was running properly. It's not causing any additional hazard to the city. It's not causing additional blight to the city. So I'm wondering why we're putting so many specific restrictions on residents. I mean, look, it's hard now for people to pay their bills and get along. I think this is gonna hurt people that are lower income. I mean, again, it probably won't hurt any of us up here. But I can see where it could definitely hurt people that are lower income, that are struggling.
Excuse me, Steve, in there, doesn't it say, I mean, if somebody's parking their car in the street, you wouldn't know if they need a transmission or something in 24 hours or a week or whatever. You wouldn't know, would you?
Then why-
Would anyone know?
Then why isn't
And
it?
the other thing is, it's if there's no tires on it or they're actually working on it.
So-
And you
so
can
look.
see that they're working on it.
If you had an actual description of a abandoned, dilapidated, non-cared for vehicle, I wouldn't be bringing any of this up. But this is, it is a broad pen by saying inoperable. That means any mechanical issue on that car at all where you can't drive it, you're caught up in this. And I don't think it's right. I don't think it's right. I think if the car's a hazard, absolutely, it's a problem and it should be addressed. Just like if someone's grass is a hazard, or if there's a rodent infestation, absolutely. I'm 100% in favor of code enforcement enforcing all the laws. But with this, we're being so very specific. But on the other hand, we're saying, but if Jerry talks to him, then, we'll let it go. So that's why I don't really understand why we're tweaking this ordinance that was passed just 2 years ago. With most of us sitting up here, voted yes for the ordinance that's the current one.
I don't think we're saying Jerry's gonna let it go. I think we're saying, Jerry, give him a little more time.
But-
To
But the current
rectify
ordinance
this.
allows them to have one junk car in their property. And that one junk car is the one that's bringing down property values that they're not addressing, that they're not getting rid of.
Okay, so if I have a 65 Mustang convertible sitting in my driveway, I don't, but if I did, and it's gonna be a project for me and my grandson.
Project car.
How is that bringing down anyone's property value? That 65 convertible Mustang's probably worth more than some of the vehicles it would be next to it.
That's
So how is a car that's not registered, sitting on private property, is in good condition, but is not being used? How is that an issue? My other question is, what about people that have cars that are only insured part of the year? I have a car that's only insured during the summer. It lives in a garage year round. It's only driven very certain times. Now, I'm fortunate where I have off-site garage that I keep in, but if I didn't, it would be sitting in my house under a car. Now, that car's not a hazard to anyone. It's not a blight to anyone.
That's why I sent out that PowerPoint that I hope everybody got the second time. Where I was able to demonstrate over, I think there were 40 cars in that PowerPoint that were junk cars that are now permitted to stay there because it's one car per property that someone is permitted to have. That's why I sent those examples out, which I didn't purposely go out for 3 days and look for those kinds of things. Those are just in my normal routine of working throughout the city. That all of those cars right now can stay there, and that's what's bringing the blight to the city. And that's the thing that has to get cleaned up. And you're bringing up examples that I understand may not want, you don't want to impact people. I get it. I do get it. But that's not what we're trying to do here.
And I understand that, and I support what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, you're being so specific and so broad.
Be specific to have some kind of baseline for what we're doing here. You keep going around, I mean, is this still public? Okay.
Comments.
Keep going around.
It is a public hearing, but you should be recognized if you want to speak.
You have to come up and say your name.
I'm sorry. So you want to know who I am? I'm Justine Gray and I'm at 342 Cincinnati. So I don't understand why you keep going back to the same thing. We're not talking about your car. We're talking about the junk car that is.
No, we're talking about every car.
We're talking about a junk car that is on somebody's property that we're trying to get off their property because it's an eyesore.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. What I'm saying to you, what I'm saying, wait a
The
minute.
change in the ordinance, I understand what you're saying. The change in the ordinance, from what I understand, I don't even know what the ordinance is. It changed it from a 2-hour to, I mean,
10 day to 30 days.
10 days to 30 days.
10 days to
No,
30 days.
There's a lot of
So
changes. There's a lot of changes in it, and if you would read it,
Isn't
you would
that
see.
better change for what you're
That change
supporting?
was made last meeting. It was at 10 days and we requested it be changed to 30
It's
days.
made it better for the people that he's talking about. Is that
Exactly,
correct?
exactly, yes.
So what's the problem?
Well, if you would let me speak, I will tell you.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, can I ask a quick question? This is the second time we're asked this ordinance. The last, it was because of the 10 days.
Right.
Nothing else has changed except the 10 days, or were there more changes?
It made public.
Okay, so that was an amendment made for the public hearing. Were there any other changes made to that ordinance from then to now? Because we already had this big discussion back.
Yeah.
So I just want to clarify, I'm a little confused.
Well, I can educate you on what I'm saying if you like.
No, I know what you're saying, but you're talking about the ordinance from last year or whatever.
No, what I'm
You're-
saying is this.
But I
ordinance-
just want to
The
make,
definitions in this ordinance are so specific that it's gonna trap people that you're not intending to.
right,
That's
but
what I'm saying.
it wasn't in the public, it wasn't mentioned in the public hearing last time, so I'm trying to figure out if.
We didn't have a public hearing last time.
Well, we
Did we? Did,
Council discussed it.
Right.
I know, but nothing's changed since then, so,
The
You didn't-
items
I
that
don't-
I brought up last time are the same items that I'm bringing up
oh,
tonight.
okay,
That's what I'm saying.
I got you.
Go ahead, Carl.
If you have changes or if there's some concern, you can bring it as a motion to be considered, and then it can be voted up or down, and then we can, if we decide to do that,
Can't do it.
to subject.
It's
You could-
too late.
Yeah, it's too late because it's the.
Oh, that's right, because it would have to start over.
Any substantive changes would have to start over.
Start over.
My only point I'm trying to make is that some of the things in here are gonna catch people up that you're not intending to. The
That's-
people that have dilapidated,
That's almost
eyesore
every law
vehicles.
that's written, that's almost every ordinance that's written, that's why code enforcement is given discretion, and quite frankly. One of the issues that I get involved in, is when ordinances are not specific, and then it gives somebody who is an habitual violator of the
Yeah.
ordinance an opportunity to skirt the intent of the ordinance because they can come up with, because it's not specific enough. The more specific, the better it is for the public, so they know what's expected and what isn't expected. That, and you have to balance it with obviously the discretion that is given to our either law enforcement or code enforcement.
and is the discretion mentioned in that ordinance? I don't believe it is.
It's,
Uh,
Horses there.
It's not mentioned in any ordinance. Like, yes, still open public hearing.
Karen Adams, 520 Boston. My question is, if there's a way to be more specific about what determines a junk or abandoned car? Because, and I mean, personally, just not having a license plate or insurance doesn't signify it as a junk or abandoned car. So for example, my 17-year-old has a car that has been sitting in the backyard, that's not falling apart, but needs a lot of repair. She's working, she wants to put the work into herself, she wants to build this car back for herself to be what it can be. That's gonna take some time. It's not in any repair, it's not in any order that could hurt someone or harm someone. It's perfectly secure to outside elements. So no animals would be getting in that. But just because it does not have a license plate or insurance, should not deem it as a junk or abandoned car. That's kind of my glitch in the thing from what I'm hearing, is that maybe we could redefine that part of the facility.
Can I ask a question? How many junk cars are allowed on private property?
Right now, one.
One, so your daughter's fine.
Well,
Up here, correct.
Not this passes.
this would change that.
Because this was changed, that wouldn't
It's
be
in or
permitted.
it's out?
It-
Because I don't have
If
the
you-
ordinance here, because I didn't print it out
Yeah,
twice again.
Please state your name.
Hi. Keon Fuentes, I just have a question. If a car is on your property, a fencing yard, it wouldn't matter, right? But if a car is on the side of a property and someone sees it, that's where the issue is, correct?
No, if it's in your property, if it's in the garage, then there's no issue,
Right.
right? But if
Right.
it's on your property and it doesn't have tires, or it's inoperable, it doesn't have license plate, doesn't have an inspection. Then I can only assume that it's a inoperable abandoned car
Right.
until I have a discussion with you.
And it's seen, right? But if you
Let's see.
right, but if you can't see it, it's not a big deal.
I can give you an example of that. There was a vehicle that was placed in our library parking lot that was completely smashed from the night before. And I came upon it that day because it wasn't there the day before. And asked the police to take a look at it and see what this vehicle was. It had been placed the night before in one of our parking lots behind the library. It was moved to the individual's property and put in the garage because he wanted to part it out and use it to sell on eBay and all of that kind of stuff, or marketplace. So he moved it and put it in a garage. He didn't put it in his backyard. Yeah, because it's not a blight, it's not an eyesore, it's not the situation. But I mean, that's one of the cars that is in the PowerPoint.
I don't print it out. You could look in your emails.
True. I agree.
Look in your email.
So that could be an issue as well.
Yeah,
so to answer the next question, that car would not be allowed to stay because this ordinance would remove that ability for her daughter to keep that car.
Yeah,
in that
looking
yard.
up the ordinance.
Mhm.
I can print it out.
I just don't get what the big deal is. I mean, we had this already in another meeting. We tabled it for that same meeting. Now we're doing it again over half an hour. Anyway, Jerry, you're doing an amazing job. I don't know if they told you today, but you're doing an awesome job.
Thank you. No, they didn't. You're the only one. You're the only one. Thank you very much. Everything that's discussed is legit. I understand concerns and I understand that people don't have money and I understand all of that. But we're at a point where there's too many cars in backyards that are growing moss. They don't have license plates. They don't have current registrations. You have the examples. You have the examples. I wouldn't bring it up if it wasn't something that should be addressed.
Yeah, and look, I don't have a vote on this, obviously, but I mean, I've given you a real life example how these things are a significant hazard. To a community if they're not addressed. So you need.
And you would say this ordinance matches a lot of other communities.
Yes, very similar.
Yes, Mike.
We actually, the three of us went back and forth a couple of times. The Chief Aylwin, Chris and I went back and forth a couple of times until it kind of made, sense.
Just Mike Gepetti, 280 Mullings Avenue. About the 2-hour rule with the car being fixed on Street. Living here my whole life, 59 years. it's been common practice if you drive through town that people will work on their cars on the streets. They will jack them up and keep them jacked up for days, which is an absolute hazard to children going by. So as far as code enforcement goes, if I raise my hood on my car to change a starter and they don't have the starter, I'm gonna close my hood and it's gonna be good for a couple days, right? Nobody's gonna come and start a stopwatch and go, hey, Mike Jimpetti just opened his hood on his car to change the starter, and now it better be changed in 2 hours or we're gonna tow your vehicle. Like that, this kind of nitpicking, I think, is absolutely ridiculous. Jake, you brought up the example of code enforcement or traffic enforcement with police officers, okay? Every one of those statutes, I believe, except for DUI, is up to an officer's discretion. Okay, whether they can do it or not. So I don't think there's anybody in this town in code enforcement that is out to try to burn somebody. As far as I'm concerned, sometimes code enforcement is too lenient. They're always out there trying to help the people and do what's right for the town, but at the same time, when you have an eyesore next to your house, okay, and one house can typically, like, I'm not gonna say ruin a neighborhood, but really make your neighborhood look awful. You know, that's a problem. So these ordinances that are coming up, I mean, this nitpicking stuff is ridiculous. Is the sky blue today? I mean, it's gotta like kind of end. So, you know, let's just put the ordinance out there and leave it up to code enforcement. Also, just because you're written a summons doesn't mean that your car is gonna be towed. Anyone that gets any kind of summons has the right to go before a judge, state their case, and a judge can say, hey, in this case, no, code enforcement, you're wrong. Hey, the car can stay there. So I think we need to kind of move on. This nitpicking stuff is just real out of hand. So that's my opinion.
And your point there at the end is true, because we've been in court for 2 years.
Yeah, we
for
have.
Particular. property.
Yeah, we have.
So this isn't like cut or dry, hey, your car's not fixed in car, we're telling him, you don't have anything to say. No, it's gonna go before the court, before the car can tow you the property. That's what I have to say.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyone else wish to be heard?
I
Okay,
just want to say one thing.
you have to come up and state your name.
I wanted to say one thing. I have requested boats be put in here because I have a neighbor who's had a boat in their yard for 30 years. It's a hazard because it fills up with water. Mosquitoes breed in there and it's covered with weed. It's
Yeah,
not
not
in here.
like
So, but you know, you have to weigh two sides and be negotiable and
But there was an issue with the DMV and the lookup for that. That's why I had to,
but I would love to.
it's not like cut or dry like a car, so.
Ma'am, state your name and address.
My name is Stefania Keener, 459 Chicago Avenue, Egg Harbor City, New Jersey.
What would you like to say?
I would like to say this, we all love our town. We wouldn't live here if we didn't have some type of real concern for it. The fact that you're trying to clean it up should be commended. Everybody talks about the bowling alley. It's a junkyard. It's sat there for 2 years. It's bounced around the whole county court system to try to get it cleaned up. I don't have a junk car in my yard. I have a fully fenced in yard and I have a garage, and if I needed to, I could put something in there. But you do have people that buy things to fix it and leave it there. You either want your home to be nice or you don't. You either want your yard to look nice or you don't. We all want our town to look good. I'm sorry that there are people with financial problems. I faced that as a young mother. I know how that works. However, we have 4,000 other residents that live here, and they're entitled to their property values to stay up and not on the floor, because this guy down the block has 5 cars, only 1 runs. That guy down the block has 2 cars, none of them run. We all deserve for our properties to continue to value up. I don't care anymore. I'm sorry that you're so sympathetic. I would be too. I think that's a nice idea, but you're affecting everybody's property values, and we've listened to you for 45 minutes on the same subject. Finish and be done. Thank you.
Anyone else wish to be heard? Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Is there a motion to adopt?
Make the motion.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Roll call, please.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash,
No.
Dovey,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Keener,
Yes,
Timbers.
Yes.
okay, motion passes. And it will be advertised in the Hamilton Gazette on September 17th. Number 22, public hearing on ordinance number 16, 2025, repealing and replacing chapter 170-81.5 of the Code of the City, note 33, titled Cannabis Licensed Businesses.
I think somebody better explain that.
Is there a motion? First, we gotta open the public.
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion been made to open a public hearing, and all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
What did you want to explain?
Well, that we're not actually, we're amending something, but we're not allowing another store.
No,
of
no, we're
retail.
repealing in place, replacing
Okay.
the cannabis license,
Okay,
the ordinance we have currently.
right, because
And we
people may not
we had
understand
three
that.
different ordinances previously. They combined them and
Yeah, and look, I can tell you that a lot of towns passed ordinances quickly in the beginning before
Mhm.
the Cannabis Control Commission, I guess just to say,
Mm.
came out with formulated regulations. Nobody really had best practices. What this ordinance does is it mimics what the best practices are throughout the state and
Well, people get confused.
Yeah.
Before you know it, they'll say we're having another retail store. or
It doesn't,
something.
it doesn't
Right,
change.
Okay, thank you.
The only thing it changes is.
That's all I want to hear.
but you opened the public hearing, so.
Public hearing's open. Anyone wish to be heard on this ordinance? Second call. Final call. Is there a motion to close the public
Motion.
hearing?
Second.
Motion made, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing closed. Is there a motion to adopt?
Make the motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, roll call.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash.
Yes.
Dovey,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Keener,
Yes,
Timbers.
Yes.
motion passes and it will be noticed in the Hamilton Gazette on September 17th.
Yes.
Number 23, public hearing, ordinance number 17-2025. Opting into the Garden State CPACE program to facilitate and finance CPACE projects.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made to open a public hearing. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, public hearing open. First call.
Can we have just a little, can I have a little bit of explanation what CPACE is?
Yeah, so it's a NJEA program which provides the ability for private financing at a discounted rate as long as the municipality is involved with it.
Okay.
It doesn't affect the municipality, it doesn't affect their bond rating, it doesn't affect anything like that. What it does is it allows, for example, a developer to come in and go out to private market and borrow money at a rate that government will get a rate at, so a much lower rate, so it spurs development. New Jersey's actually really late to the game with this. There's about 34 other states that have done it successfully. New Jersey realized that this is a good program to encourage development with private funds instead of necessarily public funds. But in order to be in the program, municipalities have to adopt an ordinance saying that you're going to be in. And if you look at the ordinance, it's a little confusing because it talks about a resolution.
Right.
That means that any development project that would avail itself of the CPACE would have to come before the governing body. The governing body would have to pass a resolution acknowledging that it could be accepted into CPACE.
And we do have a business that's interested in tapping into this program.
And it provides because it actually affects Jody and her life a little bit with how these things get budgeted. It does provide some money to cover administrative costs of the program for extent.
Okay, thank you very much.
And this is only for commercial.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, but only. That's the type of funding that it is, right?
Yeah.
Just wanna make sure.
Anyone wish to be heard? Anyone else? Motion to close the public hearing?
Second.
Motion made, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing closed. Is there a motion to adopt?
Make the motion.
Okay, roll call please.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash.
Yes.
Dovey,
Yes.
Galloway.
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Keener,
Yes,
Timbers.
Yes.
notice of adoption will be in the Hamilton Gazette on September 17th. Number 24 is public hearing on ordinance number 18-2025, adopting a redevelopment plan for block 1001, lot 11. It's the landfill area on Antwerp Ave.
Make a motion.
Motion to open public hearing. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing open. Anyone wish to be heard on ordinance number 18? Second call. Final call. Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
Make the motion.
Second.
Motion made second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing closed. Is there a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Motion. Second.
Any roll call, please?
Clark,
Yes.
Dash.
Yes.
Jovi,
Yes.
Galloway.
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Keener,
Yes.
Timbers.
Yes.
Motion passes. Ordinance passes and will be advertised in the Hamilton Gazette on September 17th. Okay, number 25 is the bill list.
Make the motion.
Second.
Motion made second. Questions on the bills? Roll call.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash.
Yes.
Jovi,
Yes.
Galloway.
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Keener,
Yes.
Timbers.
Yes.
Okay, bills are paid. Number 26 is mayor comment.
Yeah, there is a lot going on in Egg Harbor City in the fall, so please be sure to check the official Facebook page. It's www.eggharbor, it's on www.eggharborcity.org. There's a link. And you know it's the official one because that seal right there is on it, along with the picture of all council members. That tells you everything that's going on. I know a lot of people mentioned things, but there are a lot of things that weren't mentioned. Also, as we sit here on 9/11 and we think about how happy we were to be united as Americans during that terrible time, I'm very saddened to see that a young man was assassinated, 32-year-old young man was assassinated at a recently. He has 2 children and a beautiful wife, and I'm not familiar with his platform or I have never watched him, but it's just very sad that I've since learned that he reaches out to young people and tries to get them involved in the political process and answers questions that they may have. So very sad to see that today, that has happened. Also, another sad thing, one of our Board of Education board members was in a very serious accident last week. The last update I had is he is doing better, a lot of surgery, long recovery, so you never know. You just never know. So pray for him. I'm sure many of you know who he is. If you don't, I'd be happy to talk to you after the meeting. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Start with this side. Councilwoman Clark.
Just one quick announcement for the Crusaders. Our homecoming night, which is usually the bonfire and everything, is scheduled to happen on September 27th. It'd be great to go out and support the kids, and especially our 8th graders. And we have recently discussed, and we are going to do our 4th annual trunk or treat on October 25th. As the date draws closer, we'll provide more information, but it's never too early to start asking people to set up. And that's all.
Yeah, thank you. Councilwoman Rice.
Just to echo the mayor, prayers for our Board of Ed member. He's a amazing man. He'd do anything for anybody in the community, so please pray for him and his family. He is a former teacher at Oakcrest, Apsagami, and Cedar Creek. He was very instrumental in our daughter's education, and he has a big place in her heart. So please pray for him and his family going forward. And prayers for the family of the young man who was assassinated. I did listen to him here and there. I didn't always agree with his platform, but I did respect him for the way he presented himself. And I did respect him for bringing the light of Christianity to a lot of young people within the speeches that he made and his debate platform that he used when he did talk to the young people. He opened a lot of their eyes to Christianity, and he used it in a lot of his debates to show them that there was something that they could stand for. And he stood behind what he said, where a lot of young people will go out and they'll debate, but they don't have a platform to stand on. He always had a platform to stand on, whether you agreed with his platform or not. He had a platform to stand on, and I respected him a lot for that. And prayers to all the families of the 9/11 victims. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Dash?
Okay, I'll keep it brief. My thoughts and prayers go to Charlie Kirk's family, his wife, his two daughters. He was senselessly assassinated the other day. He was a incredible speaker, a man of God, and he brought that message to many, many young people in colleges across the country. Also, my thoughts and prayers go to the survivors of 9/11 and the victims of 9/11. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Dovey?
I don't have anything there.
Councilman Timbers?
Okay, 9/11, it seems so long ago, and it also seems like it was yesterday. It's one of those events where most of us can remember where we were. Maybe not when the first plane went into a building, but we remember definitely looking at the TV and seeing the second plane and going, whoa, what is going on? There was terror. You wanted to know where your family members were. I had a cousin that he was in grade school, and they had just visited the Pentagon. And so we didn't know what was going on. We were trying to get in contact with them. And what I always remember is that the cell phones were down. There was no way to contact anyone. And the relief to find that their itinerary had them in the Pentagon the day before. So they were on their way back. Charlie Kirk. There's a lot of people, he was kind of a polarizing figure. He often said things that I really did not agree with, but he was a counterpoint. So he was someone that had a voice that was worthy of hearing. I think that if you didn't agree with him, he invited you to debate him. He didn't mind if you didn't agree. And I think someone who was willing to shoot him was not willing to get in line and walk up to the microphone and debate him. And that's sad. When someone gives you the opportunity to tell them they're wrong, you should appreciate that. That's it. The only other thing I want to say is Cedar Creek has a big game on Saturday. It's against Atlantic City, so I plan to be there. I hope that a lot of us will come out and support these young people. And Atlantic City, I think, is ranked like 15th in the state or something like that. So it's a big game.
Yeah.
So
I'll be there with my cowbell.
Councilman Timbers.
yes.
Yeah. That's the same. I had the same question.
It was a Cedar graduate.
Chief was talking about buttering the bread, but yeah.
No, that's it. Thank you for letting me know that, please.
Councilwoman Hessen?
I just want to say my thoughts and prayers go out to both families. Charlie, who had lost his life, and also to my neighbor and who's in the hospital fighting, and hopefully he regains everything that he had. But my thoughts go out to him and his family for sure, and all the first responders. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Galloway?
Just a few numbers regarding 9/11. 2,977 people were murdered on 9/11. 343 were firefighters. 23 were members of the New York Police Department. 37 were from the Port Authority Police Department. 184 people died at the Pentagon in Washington, D.C., and 40 perished on Flight 93 that crashed in Shanksville. Those numbers have grown over the years, and people are still dying from the after effects of the cleanup that, people all over the country went over to help. Regarding the fellow who was assassinated, I never heard of him before yesterday. But I have seen some videos of him debating people. And it just brought to mind a quote from a man called Stephen Covey. He wrote the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And his comment that stuck with me, I heard it about 2 months ago, was listen to understand, not to respond. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Just a quick story on 9/11. My wife and I were on a cruise and we met this guy in the pool. And he had a New York City Fire Department hat on. And he was an elderly guy, older than me. And I said, are you an Atlantic City, New York City fireman, or do you just have the hat? And he goes, no, I was a fireman, I'm retired. And so he wound up telling us a story that he had retired 6 months before 9/11. His son just got into the New York City Fire Department, stationed right at the World Trade Center, and was one of the first ones in. And he rushed over there after he heard what was going on, spent 3 months in the pile, and finally found the son. And said he was one of the few that was taken out in one piece. And he had the honor of carrying it. Public comment, anyone wish to be heard? Eric?
Feels like that's all I'm saying today.
While she's coming up, I've never heard that story before.
And I've been friends with him
He's
on
starting to
Facebook too.
recycle.
He's real involved with the memorial and
That's
all that
amazing.
stuff.
24 years, I think I was like, but I think. Excuse me. Watch the names all day to hear that one. Somebody with. As I was listening to the names. Yeah. This person, they're gonna go back and forth, they do their list. And then he has my father-in-law. Yeah, and what I'm discovering is we're a couple hours away, but how much people are affected, something.
Yeah.
But that's how disaster that work, which is not what I intended to cover, as it's kind of. Thank you. No, that's what the shirt's for. Actually, I'm sorry, Mary Campbell, Ringberg Manor. See, I'm almost remembering. I need to hold on. I came up tonight, partly because believe it or not, somebody else in the world asked me to. But anyone who knows me is gonna know it's a topic I care about, but. Person in my life that helps with a number of my needs and many other people. She doesn't live in Egg Harbor, but she works in Egg Harbor. And it's about maybe 5 or 6 hours of her 8-hour work day in her car. So I'll just put out what she actually said was, why don't they have flashing lights? That was like, well, yeah. And what she was referring to, which I didn't know about until she mentioned it, but evidently someone was hit on the White Horse Pike around Buffalo Avenue or something in the last several days. she didn't elaborate.
Years ago, they were.
No, but she said like, well, I'm just relaying, but like within the last 5, 6, 7 or so days. And she said it was a hit and run, of course, but usually when they were.
The chief doesn't seem to be aware.
Well,
Maybe it was in a different community, if you think it's Egg Harbor, because that's quite possible.
did say, well, that's fine.
Oh, well.
That was a couple years ago.
No, she said, and actually I went to look it up and it did say 6 days ago, so.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it on the Newsbreak app by any chance?
No, I don't even know what that is.
Cause there's an app on the phone, it's called Newsbreak, and so they kind of have like the CB radio, and I've noticed that a lot of times they'll say a certain, like, it'll be unclear. Like they say the address and they'll mark it as Egg Harbor City, like the other day, they said like back Maryland.
Well, like she may even witnessed it. But what I want to lead to, and I know the White Horse Pike is not Egg Harbor, it's the states. And I've always been excited that several years ago, the painted crosswalks got there in the signs, because I do believe that does help and it does make a difference. Except it didn't make a difference to me coming tonight, crossing Philadelphia Avenue, because I'm in the crosswalk and I watched the car come and come and come. And I actually had to turn around and blow my whistle to get them to stop, which was right in the middle of the intersection. So anybody coming up can. But I'm gotten used to it now that walking around town is hazardous, dangerous. It's like people are angry that they find somebody in the street. Pavements aren't much better, especially with all, the bicycles and the motorized ones that are allowed. Scares me. But to go back to what the person said, and even if that's an iffy happening, I'm just gonna put out what she said is, hey, can you get the city council to get lights there? And I'm like, well, they don't control the Labor's Pike. But I just wanted, for her sake, and anyone that knows me knows it's something I care about, that to me, the more things that can make it safer, the better. Now, my experience, because people know I wear my vest and things, and I've had many people say, does that make you feel safer? And I go, no, it makes me a better target, but it takes away their excuse that they didn't see me. And I'm only half joking, because I still, to this day, they're like, I come close to punching the hood of a car to get it to stop. So it's almost like a pedestrian, whether it's Philadelphia, crossing anywhere, but I know the Pike. I'm glad they're there, but I wouldn't cross the Pike anywhere except at St. Louis or Philadelphia.
That's really what you're supposed to do, Mary, cross at the lake.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, I'll do it and that's all I'll do, but I've had people go around me into oncoming traffic because I'm like in the middle of the road, like maybe sort of like where the yellowish line is. Because I get the feeling people hate pedestrians. Sorry, I don't have a car anymore. But anyway, so I don't know what more can be done, but I wanted to present it if people want to appeal, I guess, to the State Department of Transportation to see, but I don't know that they would do any more that's already been done. But she asked me to, and it is something I care about, because like I said, even coming tonight, I could barely get across Philadelphia Avenue.
Well, there was a Safe Streets to School done. Ryan and I were part of that, which did actually have some flashing lights required. I'm not quite sure it was on the Pike, but basically dealing with the routes that the kids go to school.
Yeah,
So
I'm very glad that the school season when, right up where I live, camp, and, they get their walks, but how long did it take to get
So being that they did that, we are eligible to apply for grants, so hopefully maybe something can change. Ryan, you want to say anything about that?
Sure, so if you recall, when DOT came through and did the Route 30 project where they upgraded the stormwater management and all that.
Yeah.
We had discussions with them at that time as to whether the council wanted DOT to add crosswalks at Buffalo and Cincinnati. And ultimately it was decided that that was probably not wise, that we should probably just redirect the DOT agreed to install some enhanced pedestrian signage to indicate that that was a, high traffic corridor. And they agreed to install additional lighting along that corridor between Philadelphia Avenue and St. Louis Avenue. So we did at that time attempt to address those concerns.
Yeah,
It's never gonna be perfect.
Oh, no, and even, speed limits, seem to be a suggestion and not a rule. And because I live on Philadelphia, like watching or seeing what the heck, the no U-turn signs
Yeah.
where my apartment's located, which I know the mayor knows where it's at. Oh, my lordy, and I get it, it's the people that live on the other side of the state, like I watch here, and
It could be my husband, I don't know. When we're doing the flowers, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes he does. But,
Yeah, no, somebody's been putting some of those pots back.
oh no.
Post office.
Jerry, no, they gotta be moved back away from the.
Yeah, I feel like one of the ideas, like, get them back on the bricks, keep them off the white pavement.
It just stops people from
It's
going into the handicap.
Being used.
The wheelchair can't get around it.
We'll move on.
I can't get around it.
Mhm.
I can get around it, but that's not, you're supposed to be able to stay on the pavement, go down the ramp. And
Mary, to tell you the truth, I'm a little afraid to touch them, so. If someone wants me to move them, I'll move them, no problem.
Oh,
You can move them.
Yeah.
well, I'm just, and right now, I think the worst spot is out. But by the post office on the
Oh,
other side of the state, the post office
Yeah.
and in front of the library, like they're like right there.
Okay.
I thought,
What you guys did, someone put them back, and you know what?
I thought we did do them, remember?
You did.
Mary? We did, but they put them back. I think they didn't,
See
Yeah.
that way,
yeah.
the skating or
Yeah.
whatever, you can see somebody moved them.
Well, I'm glad you brought that to our attention.
Why
Thank you.
is it good? Because I've done, or anyway, I just wanted to put it out there, right?
Thank you, Mary.
Used to me, really, when I come to a cross street, I put my whistle right here.
Yeah, that's a good.
Because I don't want it to waste the seconds.
Mm-hmm, sure,
to-
sure.
And two questions that everybody can know for later. I want to personally purchase a fire extinguisher to keep in my bedroom. Now my apartment does have one, of course, in the kitchen.
Mhm.
But I'd like to keep one next, but I don't know how to purchase one. And does anybody know anything about the VFW/VFW auxiliary? I want to join the auxiliary.
Yeah, sure.
Because VFW is long in my history.
Yeah.
So if anybody can let me know about those two. things.
I can send, Paul McIntyre's the president. I can send him your contact.
Yeah, please.
And
do.
then maybe he'll call you. That would be
Yeah,
good.
because
That's
my
right
mom-
across the street too.
Yeah, my mom was a car carrying auxiliary medic for almost 60 years.
Okay.
And she used to say to her caretaker, I don't care what bills you pay, make sure you pay my membership. Well, when you're approaching 90, I guess it doesn't,
Yeah.
that's what you say. Thank you for.
All right, Mary, thank you.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you.
Anyone else wish to be heard? Okay. Motion to adjourn,
So moved.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?